Hey guys, in this video we will be talking about top 10 most beautiful places in Turkey. At the point where Europe and Asia collide, it is Turkey's transcontinental culture clash. Its west-east spice mix of influences, flavors, cultures, religions, and histories that makes this country so intoxicating. This is a land of sensorial richness in its bazaars and mosques, its food and arts of exotism and romance, from its Ottoman places to fairy tale Cappadocia. Its beauty spots are equally diverse. Inland, there are otherworldly landscapes and ancient wonders to be explored. Once the playgrounds of Cleopatra and Mark Antony, Caesar, and Alexander the Great, and yet they are little visited compared with similar sites in Italy and Greece. In summer, Turkey is exceptionally beautiful turquoise. Coast is piled up by gullets sailing on their blue voyages from the Aegean to the eastern regions of Mediterranean, dropping anchor to swim in bays of crystal clear water and taking long lunches in fishing villages at blue painted tables and chairs framed with canopies of pink bougainvillea, where life has gone on unchanged for thousands of years. To help you find these spots, we have rounded up the most beautiful places to visit in Turkey. Ballet Istanbul. Istanbul's artsy neighborhood of Ballet, the old Jewish quarter, has color popping pockets amid its more down at heel residential streets, bright painted stairs like those up to insert Agil street art, parasol shaded streets, and terraced wooden houses in sugary pastels and rainbow shades wind around the steep cobbled lanes to dig out surprises in rootsy cafes and vintage shops, live music venues, and edgy art galleries. Butterfly Valley, Fethiye, one of the most greatest rewards for walkers on the Lycian Way, is the speculator view as you pass above Butterfly Valley, a jag of cove sheared out of the land, colossal cliffs rising sheer and scrubby either side of the narrow blue bay, fading to turquoise at the shore. On the toenail of sand and pebble beach at the foot of it, accessible only by boat. There's a compassated with the beach bar serving beers and grilled fish, and yoga classes are held beneath the trees heading inland. The valley, used for all eternity as a good road, leads through lush greenery and waterfalls, and in springtime is filled with 100 species of butterfly. Ephesus, Turkey has a great number of ancient sites, most far less visited than similar sites in Italy and Greece, and Ephesus, now UNESCO protected, is arguably the grandest of them all. The Temple of Artemis, which stood in the ancient city of Ephesus, was one of the original Artemis, which stood in the ancient city of Ephesus, was one of the original seven wonders of the world. Little remains of it now, but the remains of Ephesus are wondrous nonetheless. Set back from Aegean coast, the settlement began 9,000 years ago. There, Roman, Christian, Ottoman, Hellenistic, and Greek monuments colonnaded streets, the temples, a huge amphitheater, the Celsus Library, whose carved facade still stands today, archways framing the blue Mediterranean. Uh, Cars, far enough from the big seaside hubs to keep it offbeat. The old fishing village of Cass remains a hideaway for hippie travelers, and boho chic Turks. Crazy paved streets are lined by traditional whitewashed houses, wooden balconies overhung with billowing bougainvilleas against a backdrop of mountains. It sits beside the most delicious turquoise sea, rusting swimming terraces and day beds built over the water, piled with bright cushions and textiles. The village's Capita's beach is a knockout, all dazzling white and bright blue, surrounded by dramatic cliffs, and nearby of the island of Kekova. There's an underwater city to explore with snorkels. Visit beneath the crystal clear water. Patara, stretching more than 7 miles. Patara Beach is the longest and most wildly beautiful in Turkey, and also one of the emptiest breakers crash among one edge of this deep, wide stretch of pale sand. Among the other are dunes and pine trees, marshes and lagoons, now a natural park rich in bird life, so you are completely surrounded by water and wildlife, most notably endangered loggerhead turtles. It's thanks partly to the turtles that the beach remains unspoiled and unprotected, and also to the ruins of the ancient city of Patara, built, it is said, by Apollo's son. At the back of the beach, you access the shore via these ruins, which include an amphitheater, parliament building found buried in the sea in the sand in the 1990s, and the column flanked remains of the main street. Apollo's temple is believed to still lie somewhere beneath, as yet undiscovered. The domes of Istanbul. Uh, Across the Golden Horn, the more modest or Tekburi Mosque is one of the city's prettiest, which white in marble and stone with pink mosaics within, located at the water's edge beside the Bosphorus Bridge. It is breathtaking at the sunset with the golden light, and in the morning when the call rings out across the water. Some of the Istanbul's most beautiful places as its mosque, the city's architectural masterpiece, the Hagia Sophia, began life 1500 years ago as a Byzantine cathedral, was converted to a mosque by Ottomans. Then, in the 1930s, became a museum until the summer of 2020. Continuously, it became a mosque once again. But all visitors are still welcome to pray or just contemplate in awe beneath an soaring golden dome, shafts of sunlight piercing its tinted glass windows like the fingers of gold. Beside it, it's the Blue Mosque, built in the Ottoman era. Its interior lined with handmade Iznik ceramic tiles and overhead painted various shades of blue, and so beautiful that even Pope Benedict couldn't stay away when he visited in 2006. Thanked divine providence for it, built by Suleiman the Magnificent in the 16th century. Suleimania Mosque is just that high on Istanbul's third hill, amid gardens and marble colonnaded grandeur. It has magnificent views of the city too. Uh, Gamoslok, Bodrum. Until the 20th century, the fishing villages dotted around the Bodrum Peninsula were only accessible from the water, and still today, the best way to get around is by boat. One of all these fishing villages, the most charming, is Gamoslok. Ramshackle restaurants, simple wood style shakes line the water's edge, some literally set in the shallows where you can eat meat and just eat caught just grilled fish with your feet in the water. The smartest sport in Mimosa, gold lanterns, hand painted in jewel shades, hang from the trees and canopies, creating sculptural shapes in the sunshine and enchanting at night. When all lit up, it's also the best spot in Bodrum to catch sunset. Blue Lagoon. This bay of tortoise water with its finger of white and carving around it is so supernaturally vibrant that it has become a poster child for the tortoise coast. The sands of Balki's beach slip into the limpid shallows, creating Maldivian esque swirling seascapes of blue and white, protected by the green forested promontories which lie around it like sleeping dragons. Overhead, the skies are full of paragliders, uh, viewing the whole splendid shebang from the air. The pools of Pamukkale. The mineral springs that have cascaded down the hillside from thousands of years have created this extraordinary sight. Pamukkale means cotton castle in Turkey's Buyuk Mendes Valley. The series of natural pools of water cupped in shallow, organic shaped basins of gleaming white travertine are directed into the hillside, overspilling with the mineral rich spring water that formed them with and which appears to have frozen in time is in petrified waterfalls. The stalactites of limestone like wedding cake icing dripping down the hillside. The spectator gets busy with the tourists, but often overlooked are the ancient ruins of the Greco-Roman spa. Uh, The fairy chimneys of Cappadocia. High on the Anatolian plateau, the curious landscape of Cappadocia resemble a fantasy world. Honey-colored rocks have eroded into sculptural forms resembling minarets, magic mushrooms, and what have become known as fairy chimneys. While underground settlers since the Bronze Age have been busy